You may be seated. We come to that point in our order of worship where we come together to lift up our joys, our concerns, our thanksgivings. As we come together this morning, let's continue to remember Nancy Kilgore's sisters in our prayer. Also, Rosa Hamrick would like us to continue to remember her nephew Dick in our prayers. Also, let's lift up Jim Cooper, who is at rehab, or is in rehab, trying to get some strength back in his legs, and so let's keep praying for him. Let's lift up Betty Fleener's brother in our prayers. Pat Bowden, let's continue to remember her mom in our prayers. And Kat McClanahan would like us to continue to remember her dad, Jerry Swanson, in our prayers. What else do we need to lift up this morning? Bill?
Is this on?
Yeah, it's on.
I am very joyful this morning, and I have a joy. I've got 2 pews full of coals. All 5 of my children are here, and for some spouses and grandchildren, and we've had a ball this weekend. It's a great joy. Thank you.
Yeah. Pat?
I have a couple of things. Albert and I made it back. Although it was a very long trip back, a 24-hour bus ride, which you'll have to hear about sometime. And anyway, and I wanted to give you an update on my mom. I really appreciate all the prayers, and she went to the doctor while I was gone on the trip, and she had gotten some really bad news from one doctor, but the specialist told her that at this time she doesn't have to have any kind of dialysis, so praise God for all that.
Amen. Angie?
Many of you guys know Margaret Clinton, who lost her husband this time last year. Well, she has just had another bout in the hospital, just dizzy, wasn't real sure what was going on, could not get out of bed. Basically, they're not sure. They saw something on the scan, maybe in her neck, possibly a blockage or something, but they let her come home, so she's doing much, much better. But just remember her in your prayers. I think this is a hard time of year anyway. Also, Todd's mom isn't doing well. She's been in and out. And my dad, who had the back surgery several months ago that you all prayed for, he has been released to get up and do some things, but that has put him right back on the couch. So he thought he could do it, and now he's in a lot of pain. So just remember him as well.
Okay. What else? Bill?
I thought I was going to set some kind of a record this morning by having my whole family fill up one pew, but then Bill Cole comes along and he outdoes me all the time. But I'm real happy to have my family here this morning. My wife Jude, my granddaughter Taylor, my daughter Paige, my grandson Zach, my daughter Becky, my daughter Jamie, my son-in-law Jerry, and my daughter Diane. Thank you. Merry Christmas.
I just have a praise. My father got out of the hospital last week after 3 weeks and got to have Christmas together with the whole family. So I certainly have a praise for that. But I have a friend, his name is Charles Bragg, and he lives in Williamsburg, and he had a stroke Friday, so please add him to the prayer list. And his name is Charles Bragg.
What was that last name? Bragg? B-R-A-G-G? Okay. Are there others? Let's go before the Lord in prayer. Most gracious and most holy God, we thank you for this opportunity that we have to gather together this morning, this Sunday before Christmas, a time when family is getting together, a time when we're celebrating and enjoying the good things that come with this time of year. So we just thank you for all those that have safely traveled to be with us this morning, as well as those of our members that are traveling to be elsewhere. Just see us safely to and from the places we need to go, most gracious God. and remind us that this season is indeed one in which we can celebrate and rejoice, and help us to understand that you've given us an ultimate reason to celebrate and rejoice, that your Son came into this world and took on human form and lived among us. Help us to understand what that means, and to realize that Christ's presence is with us in ways that we don't always comprehend, in ways that we don't always understand. Help us to understand this season, that indeed you have blessed us in ways that we just can't imagine. We ask all these things in the name of Christ, who has taught us to pray. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen.